Rice cookers might not be the first appliance people think of when they picture sustainable kitchen upgrades, but they're actually a genuinely revealing category to test. Between non-stick coatings that may or may not contain PFAS, energy usage that varies wildly between models, and the simple question of whether a cooker is actually built to last a decade instead of 2 years, there's a lot more separating these machines than just how fluffy the rice comes out. Number 5. AROMA ARC 753SG. The AROMA ARC 753SG, the simplest and most affordable cooker in this entire test, and it earns its spot specifically by proving that sustainability doesn't always require a long list of smart features. This model uses a fully stainless steel inner pot rather than any kind of coated nonstick surface, which immediately puts it ahead of a huge number of budget rice cookers still relying on older nonstick coatings with murky safety disclosures, since a bare stainless steel surface has no coating at all to degrade, flake, or potentially leach anything into food over years of repeated use. In testing, that stainless pot held up exactly as expected, showing no visible wear or scratching after repeated cooking cycles, and rice released cleanly enough with a small amount of water or oil that the lack of a non-stick coating never became a genuine inconvenience during regular use. Functionally, it's about as basic as a rice cooker gets, offering only one-touch cook and warm controls without any of the fuzzy logic or multifunction programming found on pricier models further up this list. And for anyone specifically shopping for a low-tox kitchen without spending over $100, that stripped-down simplicity is genuinely part of the appeal rather than a drawback. From an energy standpoint, its lack of complex electronics translates into a genuinely modest power draw during both the cooking and warming cycles. And because there's no digital display or standby electronics constantly drawing a trickle of power, its overall energy footprint sitting idle on a counter is close to negligible compared to some of the smarter, screen-equipped models tested elsewhere on this list. Where it falls short on pure sustainability credentials is repairability and lifespan transparency, since AROMA doesn't publish detailed sustainability or manufacturing disclosures the way some of the higher-end brands further up this list do, meaning buyers are largely trusting basic material safety rather than verifying it against a documented environmental or supply chain report. Build quality felt genuinely solid for the price during testing, with a sturdy latch and lid mechanism that showed no looseness even after repeated daily use throughout the testing period, suggesting reasonable longevity even without the premium construction of pricier competitors. It also lacks some of the more advanced water and rice ratio sensing found on smarter cookers, meaning results were slightly less consistent across different rice types compared to the fuzzy logic models tested later on this list, occasionally requiring a small manual adjustment to get a perfect texture with brown rice specifically. For anyone whose primary sustainability concern is simply avoiding a coated nonstick surface without spending a lot of money, the ARC 753SG delivers exactly that, cleanly and reliably, even if it doesn't offer much beyond the basics. Number 4. GREENLIFE PFAS-FREE Ceramic Rice Cooker. The GREENLIFE 3-cup rice cooker, built specifically around a removable, PFAS-free ceramic nonstick pot, and it earns a strong spot on this list by tackling the coating question directly rather than avoiding coatings altogether. Where the AROMA model at number 5 sidesteps the nonstick debate entirely by using bare stainless steel, GREENLIFE takes the opposite approach, offering the genuine convenience of a nonstick surface while specifically formulating that coating from ceramic materials derived from sand rather than the PFAS-based chemistry found in traditional nonstick cookware. In testing, that ceramic coating performed impressively well, releasing cooked rice cleanly with minimal sticking even without added oil. And cleanup was noticeably faster and easier than the bare stainless pot tested at number 5, since there was no risk of rice grains bonding stubbornly to an uncoated metal surface. The genuine sustainability upside here is significant for anyone who specifically wants non-stick convenience without the material safety concerns historically associated with PFAS-based coatings, since ceramic coatings are generally accepted as a genuinely safer, non-toxic alternative rather than just a marketing rebrand of the same underlying chemistry. Durability testing did reveal one real trade-off worth noting, since ceramic coatings, while non-toxic, are documented across the industry as generally less scratch-resistant over the long term compared to traditional PFAS coatings, meaning careful use with non-metal utensils genuinely matters more here than it would with some other coating types if you want the non-stick performance to last for years rather than degrading within a shorter window. The compact 3-cup capacity is clearly aimed at smaller households or individual users rather than large families, which is itself a small but genuine sustainability consideration, since a rice cooker sized appropriately to actual daily needs avoids the energy waste of running a larger unit for a small portion. Energy draw during testing was modest and consistent with its compact size, cooking a full batch efficiently without an excessively long cycle time. Where GreenLife falls slightly short of the top spots on this list is in publishing detailed life cycle or manufacturing sustainability data, since like several other brands in this space, the specific environmental language used in marketing isn't always backed by the kind of numerical, third-party verified disclosure that the very top performer on this list provides. Still, for the specific, well-documented goal of avoiding PFAS in a genuinely functional, easy-to-clean nonstick cooker, the GreenLife performed exactly as promised throughout testing. And its removable pot design also makes it easier to clean thoroughly and inspect for wear over time compared to fixed, non-removable inner pots. Number 3. Bare Rice Cooker. The Bare Rice Cooker, a compact and genuinely versatile model that earns its spot on this list primarily through energy efficiency and functional intelligence rather than a specific material claim. Featuring 6 distinct cooking functions alongside advanced fuzzy logic MICM technology, this cooker uses embedded sensors and a small onboard computer to actively monitor and adjust cooking temperature and timing in real time throughout the cycle, rather than running on the fixed, one-size-fits-all heating pattern found in the more basic cookers tested earlier on this list. In testing, that fuzzy logic system made a genuinely noticeable difference in both consistency and efficiency, since the cooker actively detected when rice was approaching doneness and adjusted its heating output accordingly rather than simply running full power for a fixed duration, resulting in less wasted energy during the tail end of each cooking cycle compared to the more basic models tested further down this list. That kind of adaptive heating is a genuinely underappreciated sustainability feature, since a cooker that intelligently reduces power draw as food approaches completion uses meaningfully less electricity over its lifetime than one running a rigid, inefficient heating cycle regardless of actual progress. Beyond plain white rice, the 6 built-in functions extended usefully to soups, stews, and multi-grain cooking during testing, meaning the same appliance genuinely reduced the need for additional single-purpose kitchen gadgets, an underrated sustainability benefit in its own right, since consolidating multiple appliances into one well-designed unit cuts down on overall manufacturing footprint and clutter. Build quality felt genuinely premium relative to its price point, with a tight sealing lid and a responsive control panel that held up consistently through repeated testing cycles without any lag or inconsistency in the fuzzy logic readings. Where it falls just short of the top 2 spots on this list is transparency around its specific coating materials and any published sustainability or life cycle reporting, since unlike the more Japan-focused brand tested at number 1, Bare doesn't currently publish the kind of detailed environmental or supply chain disclosure that would let buyers verify their sustainability claims independently rather than taking marketing language at face value. Energy monitoring during testing showed a genuinely efficient overall power draw across a full cooking and warming cycle, aided significantly by that adaptive fuzzy logic system actively minimizing unnecessary heating once rice reached the appropriate texture and moisture level. For anyone prioritizing genuine day-to-day energy efficiency and functional versatility over strict, documented material sourcing claims, the Bare rice cooker delivered some of the most consistently efficient, well-rounded performance of the entire test. Number 2. Buffalo Classic Stainless Steel Rice Cooker. The Buffalo Classic Stainless Steel Rice Cooker, and it earns this high spot in testing specifically because it represents the clearest, most straightforward material choice of any cooker on this entire list. Rather than relying on any kind of coating at all, whether traditional PTFE-based non-stick or the ceramic alternative tested at number 4, the Buffalo Classic uses a fully coating-free stainless steel inner pot, completely sidestepping the entire debate around coating safety, degradation, and disclosure that complicates evaluating so many other rice cookers on the market. That decision genuinely simplifies the sustainability conversation in the best possible way, since there's no coating to wear down, no PFAS-related marketing claims to verify, and no long-term concern about a non-stick surface degrading and needing eventual replacement, meaning the cooker's usable lifespan is realistically tied to its overall mechanical durability rather than a coating with a genuinely finite service life. In testing, the stainless pot handled repeated daily cooking cycles without any visible degradation, scratching, or discoloration, and while rice did require a small amount of oil or water to release cleanly, that minor extra step felt like a completely reasonable trade-off for a cooking surface built to realistically outlast the coated alternatives tested elsewhere on this list. Build quality throughout testing felt genuinely robust, with a noticeably sturdy housing and a reliable heating element that produced consistently well-cooked rice across multiple test batches, including brown rice and mixed grain blends that sometimes challenge more basic cookers. Its functionality remains intentionally simple, without the fuzzy logic programming found on the Bare model tested at number 3. But that simplicity is part of a genuinely coherent sustainability philosophy running through the entire product, prioritizing a durable, reparable, low-complexity design over feature-heavy electronics that tend to be harder to service and more likely to fail over a long lifespan. Energy draw during testing was modest and predictable, consistent with its straightforward heating mechanism, and the absence of complex onboard electronics likely reduces both its manufacturing footprint and its long-term risk of premature failure compared to more feature-dense competitors. For buyers who specifically want the most materially transparent, lowest complexity sustainable option without needing to trust in opaque coating formulation or unpublished lifecycle claims, the Buffalo Classic represents the strongest, most straightforward pick in this entire test, falling just short of the top spot only because it lacks the kind of formally published, third-party referenced sustainability documentation found on the single winner of this comparison. Number 1. ZOJIRUSHI. And that brings us to number 1. And the winner of this entire test is ZOJIRUSHI, the long-established Japanese rice cooker brand that earned the top spot specifically because it backs its sustainability claims with real, published documentation rather than vague marketing language alone. Among the models evaluated, ZOJIRUSHI stood out as the only brand in this comparison that publishes a formal TCFD-aligned sustainability report alongside a documented CSR procurement guideline covering human rights standards across its supply chain, giving buyers genuine, verifiable insight into the company's environmental and ethical practices rather than asking them to simply trust broad claims of being eco-conscious. That level of transparency extended into material honesty too, since ZOJIRUSHI directly discloses its use of fluororesin coatings on certain models while providing accompanying safety evidence for that choice, a notably more forthright position than several competing brands that used vaguer environmental language without the same specific backing. In testing, the cooker's build quality and cooking performance reflected exactly the kind of long-term engineering focus you'd expect from a brand built around genuine repairability, producing consistently excellent rice across every grain type tested, with an exceptionally tight sealing lid and a noticeably smooth, responsive control interface that held up flawlessly throughout the entire testing period. Repairability turned out to be one of the most genuinely significant sustainability factors distinguishing this model from every other cooker in the test, since ZOJIRUSHI maintains an active parts store specifically supporting long-term repair rather than encouraging replacement, meaning a well-maintained unit can realistically remain in service for a decade or more. A genuinely different sustainability proposition than a cheaper cooker designed to be replaced every few years once a coating degrades or a component fails. It's worth being fair and noting that ZOJIRUSHI's own published materials acknowledge real limitations too, since specific numerical figures like CO2 reduction rates or full life cycle assessment data aren't currently made public, meaning the phrase eco-conscious design still appears in some of their marketing without complete numerical backing behind it. Even accounting for that honest gap, the combination of a real TCFD-aligned report, documented supply chain standards, transparent coating disclosure, and a genuine, ongoing repair infrastructure put ZOJIRUSHI in a different category entirely from every other cooker evaluated in this test. Energy efficiency during testing was excellent, aided by precise, well-calibrated heating that avoided the energy waste of less refined heating cycles, and the sheer expected longevity of the unit means its total lifetime environmental footprint, spread out over potentially 10 or more years of reliable use, likely outperforms cheaper alternatives even before factoring in its more transparent sustainability documentation. For anyone genuinely prioritizing verified, documented sustainability over surface-level green marketing, ZOJIRUSHI earned the top spot in this test through real substance rather than just good branding.